that I'll leave it to the question and answer time. And so I think that since we are a little bit late, I'm going to move on quickly to Sonia. Can you hear me, Sonia?
Hello?
Hello. Yes.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. I'm very glad to meet you today. I don't have a PowerPoint, so I let my screen.
If you want to put your face on, I think it'll be.
Do you want to see my face?
Yeah, at least for people to follow what you're saying. I think it will be interesting than having my face there and then you showing up with your voice. I think it'll be confusing to people. So if you, that's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So you can start and share with us what you have done with it.
Okay, I introduce myself. My name is Sonia Cadi. I'm teaching French and Latin for 20 years in my secondary school, and I will introduce to you my secondary school. And then I will explain the activities we planned with Maria, Letitia, and Andrea, and also the difficulties we met for the setting up. My school is named Collège Henri Meck, and it's a small secondary school in a big school city. Because it's a place where there is a secondary school and a high school. And we are living in a small town. In my school, there are 357 pupils in 12 classes. And in the high school, with whom we share the playground, the canteen, and the gymnasium, there are 1,024 pupils. Pupils are coming from some districts from Molshein, about 9,000 inhabitants, because there is another secondary school quite bigger in Molshein. And the rest of the pupils is coming from the small villages around Molsheim. It's common in Alsace. The class which we will work with is representative of the other classes of the school. There are 28 pupils, 70 boys and 11 girls, 13 years old. Less than half of them are living in Molsheim, and the others are living from 1 to 10 kilometers around in small villages. That's also because half of the class, boys and girls, is in this school to play rugby. They are in a sports section and practice twice a week. And there are a few pupils too who are dyslexics because the teachers are trained on this. Most of the pupils are learning English for 2 years and German for 1 year. In fact, they began to learn German in school at the age of 8, but they start again from the beginning when they arrive in the secondary school. 2 of them only are learning Spanish, and some of them are learning Latin too, or a special subject in Alsace called regional language and culture. They learn the story of Alsace and they learn a few Alsatian words too. I can say I do know well some of them because I was their teacher 2 years ago, or because I know the brothers or the sisters because I'm here for 20 years. So I know that some of them come from an immigrant background, Algerian or Turkish. One girl arrived from Kosovo 4 years ago. I think that some of them can perhaps understand Alsatian because of their grandparents. And some of them have a member of the family, the father, the mother, great-parents, grandparents, Greek-grandparents, Russian, Italian, or Portuguese. And some of them are coming from another region of France, North or Brittany. According to research I made 5 years ago, there are more languages in the linguistic landscapes of the children than the languages they study in school. That's why it's so interesting for us to work with youth according to the teachers I met 2 weeks ago, who are from the other secondary school or primary school, they are for about 3 years pupils coming from foreign countries who don't speak any French words. And it's very difficult for the teachers to work with those children because they have no training or university education about this. And they don't know what they can do. So 2 weeks ago, the teachers claimed for a special class to welcome those pupils. If we show that the bodies that decide, we can perhaps have this class in a few years. I spoke about children. I speak about partners. That includes myself as French teacher and the teacher of history, geography, moral, and civic education, the sport teacher who knows particularly well the children who play rugby because she's a referent person for those children, the librarian of the school, and the educational senior advisor. And we are all looking forward to working with you in a different way to bring cultural openness to the students who are living in small villages where they don't really see foreign languages. But it's not easy for us. That's what I will explain you now. In France, we have many constraints when we want to do something with our students. First of all, I want to talk to you about the authorizations. When we want to invite someone in our classroom, this person has to write in a register by the concierge his name, the reason for his visit, the name of the person with whom he has an appointment, the hour at which he comes and leaves. For example, when Maria came to see me last week, just for 5 minutes, she had to do those formalities. It's because of terrorism. No one can enter school without reasons. Furthermore, when the teachers want to invite someone like Maria or a writer or anybody to talk to the children, we need written authorizations from the hierarchy. When Maria or Andrea or Letitia come to see my students, I have to ask the deputy principal who gives an advice. And then the principal says yes or no. Most of the time he says yes, but it takes time. The teacher have to prove to the hierarchy and the parents that these persons are interesting for the pupils and in accordance with the programs of the Ministry of National Education. They don't really watch what we do, but they want to be informed. Those who watch our job are the inspector who are sometimes coming in the classroom. And so we have to show and explain to them our activities. It's particularly restrictive in history, geography, moral, and civic education. So it's not really easy. Another difficulty is the way of the French teacher used to work. That's what I want to thank you for accept to show us the app, because my colleagues want to see what is expected to organize their activities in accordance with the national program. Usually the French teachers don't really like to work together. They are not used to share and to build projects together. In fact, in 2016, there was a reform to incite the teachers to work together. But since 2017, there is a new ministry and it is less obligatory. But we can work together with Maria, Letitia, Andrea, respecting all the constraints I said, thanks to those measures I will now explain. In fact, there is a possibility to build a project between several subjects in something called EPI. We say EPI, enseignement pratique interdisciplinaire, practical interdisciplinary teaching. That means that several teachers teach some parts of their subject in order to build a concrete project. For example, the biology and geography teachers make observations and experiences along a river near the school, and then the pupils have to do a notebook with explication, drawings, and poems they search and they write with a French teacher. So for our project, all the teacher concerned can study a part of the subject. The sports teacher has to study in her program orienteering race. So the pupils can run in Molshein to select, to find, and then to organize the different places we want to show in the app. The teacher of history, geography, moral, and civic education has to study the towns, history, maps. So she's concerned too, because after the selections of the children, she can illustrate that. And as first teacher, I have in this level to work about journalism, description, and text about towns. And the other persons, like the librarian, can help us to work with groups. So the project is exactly what we have to do in an AP. It will be notes in the school reports the parents receive, and the pupils can present this project next year during their exam named Brevet des Collèges. That give a real importance to the project for the parents, the inspector, and our hierarchy. As I said, the town is the center of the programs from this level of the secondary school. It's beside the reason with why our hierarchy in Strasbourg sent us every year some ideas to make lessons together about the town. It's called Read the City. And when the other teachers will see what we make with you, I hope they will do something with us too, along with this point of the program, Read the City. And at least during their schooling in the secondary school, the pupils do several activities and meet several persons. For example, for Christmas, they met five firefighters who comes to explain how the fireworks are dangerous. And those activities are decided along with the national program, and it's written to in the school report as civic course or health course or cultural course or career choice course. Those activities we will make for this project can also be considered as activities in civic course. I had to explain our way to work in France because it's not really easy for Maria and Adrien and Laetitia. They have to give proofs of the interest of this project, and with the teachers have to stay in a legal frame. But we have planned to do first some activities in the school to explain to the children what is a linguistic landscape, because in France, in school, we just have to speak French. The languages that are spoken in the families have to stay in the families. And so doing this project, I think we can show to all the school how rich it is when somebody can speak several languages. So after doing the job with the pupils, we plan to do the job with all the people in the school, not only the teachers, but Maria, tu peux m'aider? Maria?
Oui.
Je voulais dire que je voudrais vraiment qu'on fasse ce travail avec tous les adultes du collège, tous les gens du collège. faire un questionnaire avec tous les gens du collège.
Oui. So actually we had the idea to include to the project not only the teachers who will do the workshops, but also like to make small interviews about language biographies or home languages with different staff, even for example with people who are in the college administration, even with the guardian of the college or the cleaning staff, like all the people who are present in the college. And then in a second time, we will also maybe ask children to interview the members of their family, and then further go out in the city and meet also other people in the city. It's like a whole school approach.
Yes, it's important for us to show that to our hierarchy, and to show that for the pupils too, they have to be proud of their languages. For now, they're not proud. They hide what they know. And so making this project with you is a great experience for the pupils and for us too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sonia, for sharing that and for bringing all those good ideas that you are planning to do for the next academic year, both with students and also with the community members in the school, which is very, very, very interesting and very important. And also for bringing up the idea that working on linguistic landscapes is not only for language teachers, but for all teachers. And that is very, very interesting. And it's an interesting point that we would like to share with those that are watching us now, that you can bring different teachings from civics education, from history, geography, and it's very interesting. And also to promote the collaborative work between the teachers